Hello, good afternoon. My name is Stephanie Gonzales, and today I want to chat with you about something that is very important for any business and organization, and that is an ethics and compliance office. As more and more businesses face more regulations, the role of a compliance professional is becoming more crucial. They not only help to ensure that companies follow laws and regulations, but they also contribute to creating a workplace that is filled with integrity, um, accountability, and I believe most importantly, respect. A little bit about me, I have been with my company for roughly 10 years and then 8 years in the Ethics and Compliance Office. It is my role to help our two compliance investigators look into employee concerns. And then I also implement our code of conduct training. Um, and I will just go into sharing some key responsibilities of corporate compliance and why they're so crucial into maintaining ethical standards while we minimize risk for any organization. To begin, I want to define what is meant by corporate compliance. So, compliance refers to the processes and policies that organizations implement to ensure they operate within legal and ethical standards. This includes various areas, including financial regulations, environmental laws, labor practices, data protection, and other industry specific guidelines. The United States Department of Justice, or the DOJ, is a federal agency that enforces these laws and while protects civil rights and ensures that fair administration of justice. In case of criminal behavior, the Department of Justice examines the federal sentencing guidelines to evaluate the effectiveness of any organization's compliance program. And this is what we use. We run our compliance office through the FSJs, or the federal sentencing guidelines. This evaluation is huge because it can greatly influence the penalties imposed on the organization and the team members, including CEOs, directors, officers, and even employees. That seems complicated, but in basic terms, if any employees or contractors purposefully not follow any laws and regulations with their jobs, they can go to jail. So it is up to the corporate compliance department to prevent that from happening. The corporate compliance employees are essential in developing and implementing and monitoring these policies. They work to inform employees about relevant laws and regulations that impact their daily job. And this requires ongoing education and training to keep up with these changes in the legal landscape, like the new change in the political administration. This is going to be a huge shift for us. I work at a utility, and one of the company's main goals is to focus on renewable energy. I know that our laws are going to change around this, so as the compliance office, we need to really keep up with these changing laws so we're able to inform our employees doing that job what laws are changing. The core duties of a compliance professional and what they're responsible for. First, I believe it would be policy development and implementation. One of the main responsibilities is to create and implement compliance policies and procedures. These policies guide employees in their conduct and outline the consequences of any non-compliance. This process involves collaborating with various departments to ensure that policies are realistic and relevant across the organization. And where might you find these policies? In any company's code of conduct, and I know at Sienna we always have a code of conduct as well. And this is just a simple guide on what you can and cannot do. Another role that is important is training and education. And this is just another aspect that compliance employees are responsible for. They train on issues related to compliance and risk management. We, as an organization, conduct workshops and online training sessions to educate employees about the risk topics, our company policies, and all of the ethical standards that we expect. I believe having a well-informed workplace is crucial for fostering a culture of compliance and ensuring that all employees understand their responsibilities and what they need to accomplish on a daily basis. As in part of my role, I lead the compliance training and I select risk topics that we've kind of seen throughout the year for these sessions. And I also implement and distribute our code of conduct training. So our code of conduct training completion is mandatory for employees, and those who do not wish to complete the code of conduct training within the specified time frame may face serious consequences, including up to termination. In addition, we take real-life misconduct incidents and turn them into training so employees can get a real-life sense of the misconduct that we're seeing in the workforce. We work with a third-party vendor, and we're able to write the script and incorporate several misconduct incidents and kind of layer them with other issues we're seeing. It could be safety or environmental issues. And then we have the leaders kind of get together with their team and go over the material that we present. And they kind of have to identify that risk topic as well as the other issues. It's a very fun training. I love to do it. We get to select the actors, and it's a really fun training to put together. But it's also really effective. Employees leave, and they always say that it's always well put together. So I really enjoy putting that training together. And then a part of our training, we also adhere to the federal sentencing guidelines for employee training. I think the third one would be monitoring and auditing. That is another crucial aspect to compliance. These components are very important to ensuring compliance in any business or organization. Compliance employees, they develop framework for regular audits and reviews and assessments. This involves examining any process in the company and identifying any potential risks that may come from it, and actually ensuring that remediation measures are put in place when any non-compliance is found. So there are actually a total number of 6 people in my whole department, 2 of which are solely dedicated to what we call regulatory compliance. They work with liaisons in certain areas of our organization, such as HR, environmental, permitting, just to make sure we're adhering to all of the laws and regulations. And there are actually times when the company does not follow standard procedures, and it leads to us paying fines. And those fines could actually be as large as $1 million a day until they're fixed. And sometimes they go weeks or months without us realizing that we're unintentionally not following procedure. So that's the importance of auditing. We kind of go make sure everyone is following what they need to do, so we avoid those severe, heavy fines. Another aspect of a compliance professional in any ethics and compliance office is reporting and communication. I believe that clear, friendly communication is a key aspect to ensure we all stay compliant in the workplace. Employees want to know what is happening in the company, and I think open, transparent communication is key to that. For example, at my organization, we have a clear policy, no weapons on company property of any sort, but there was a mistake that an employee made, and it is our job in the compliance office. We we had to send out a reminder to all employees about that mistake and how it's tied to our policy. So I think informing employees about our policies and reminding them is very important. I think some employees come in and they are not really sure about our policy. So reading our code of conduct and ensuring that they're following the rules, and us actually being transparent and communicating those rules is very important. And so again, our compliance team, we play that vital role in sharing important messages on updated policies or even new policies that we've implemented as a company. And we're also here to bring any concerns to the attention to the board of directors or the CEO or directors or senior management about any concerns. And actually, in my organization, we also send a quarterly newsletter, and in this newsletter, we highlight several misconduct incidents that could be if an employee was discriminating against another employee. We kind of use that as a lessons learned. So what we do is we type up that misconduct, and we would never share any names, but we would say what happened, what the resolution was, so what the corrective action was, and then the lessons learned for that. And I think employees, they really love the transparency of this newsletter, and I think it's very important to be transparent. And they often joke that it's kind of like the soap opera, and I think they love to see it because they love to see kind of the drama going on in the workplace, and they don't believe that these situations happen in the workplace, but they do, and it's very frequent, unfortunately. Another aspect of compliance, ethics and compliance office is we need to investigate workplace concerns. So when a compliance violation occurs, it is the responsibility of the compliance professionals to look into that concern and lead an investigation. So a part of that is gathering evidence, interviewing employees, and kind of determining the extent of the violation and if it was intentional or not. And then following that investigation, the compliance professionals must recommend disciplinary action and kind of remediation plans to prevent future incidents from happening. These incidents could be small as performance-based concerns where employee accidentally made a mistake, sent an email that contained sensitive information to another employee on accident, or they could be intentional acts of discrimination, harassment, inappropriate behavior, or other code of conduct policy violations. In my organization, we have 2 employees dedicated to conducting workplace investigations. And it is my role to assist these investigators. We have roughly about 8,000 employees, and last year the number of concerns we've received was 410. So that equals about 33 incidents every month. Some are lower concerns and some are pretty severe that result in termination. So we unfortunately are very busy with this, and I think with the change in administration, that might cause things to be ramped up even more, unfortunately. So the importance of corporate compliance. The role of a corporate compliance professional is essential for maintaining the integrity and reputation of any organization by ensuring that the company adheres to all laws and regulations and ethical standards, to be honest with you. These professionals help reduce risk that otherwise could lead to legal troubles, financial loss, or harm the company's image, which is very important. And again, that sounds complicated, but in simple terms, they help to keep everyone in the company, even the CEO, on the right side of the law. On top of that, a strong compliance program can really boost employee morale, which is very important. When team members see that their companies values ethical practices, they tend to feel more appreciated and more engaged. And this can translate into a great job satisfaction and better retention rates for the company. Effective compliance programs can create new business opportunities. Clients and partners often prefer to work with organizations that have a solid reputation for ethical standards and compliance. So, building a positive compliance reputation not only fosters trust, but it can also give the company a competitive edge. And I know if I were an employee looking for, or a new hire looking for a company, I would definitely look to see if they have a strong ethics and compliance program, because that is very important. To wrap things up, I just want to emphasize just how important corporate compliance professionals are in today's business world. They play a key role in creating policies, providing training, monitoring, and practicing and conducting investigations. I think the work is truly valuable, and I know employees appreciate being in an organization that truly values that as well. By supporting and appreciating what compliance professionals do, we try to create a positive culture of integrity in the organization. And this, again, leads to more trust and better decision making and helps the business thrive. That is ethics and compliance. Thank you for your attention. I hope this information was valuable to you. And going forward, I hope that you understand that ethics and compliance is important for any organization to keep it healthy and successful. Thank you so much.